Hi, this is the American Narrowboater, vlog number 7, The Abandoned Canals of New York State. Well, good afternoon. This is Jack Byder, your American Narrowboater. Today is June the 12th, and I'm talking to you from Crystal Beach, Florida. This is vlog number 7 in the American Narrowboat series. The last vlog, vlog 6, we talked about the existing canals still in use in New York State, here in the U.S. Today's vlog, we're going to talk about the defunct canals that used to be in New York but are no more. Basically, they fall into two types. Any canal that's north of the Erie Canal, and if you remember from the previous vlogs, the Erie Canal runs east to west. Anything north above that feeds into the Erie Canal, its main purpose is to supply water to the canal. Yes, there is a canal, the Oswego Canal, that does provide freight service, but most of it is pleasure craft. South of the Erie, those canals that are defunct were originally built to transport coal. You see, in Pennsylvania, which is the state just below New York State, there are huge deposits of anthracite coal. Also, the only way to get the coal over the Allegheny Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains was through the Erie. So the canals south of the Erie brought coal up from the vast deposits in the state of Pennsylvania immediately south. It was the next state south of New York. And as you'll see, there were 3 major coal-carrying canals that left Pennsylvania for New York State: Upper New York State and New York City itself. Well, let's get to it. Let's start taking a look at our first canal. The first canal we're going to look at is the Genesee Valley Canal. With the opening of the Erie Canal, well, that started to bring prosperity across Upper New York State. However, the fertile Genesee Valley that you see me outlining here, it didn't have the access to the markets other than what could travel on the Genesee River, and that was often too low or too dangerous to navigate. So in 1836, they started building the Genesee Valley Canal. Now, it was slow going. Often they needed to take breaks because they ran out of money in the 1840s or so. But by the time they started going again, they had reached Danville, and soon they got all the way down to the town of Olean. This is an important junction because Olean meant that they could connect with the Allegheny River, and goods could then proceed west to Pittsburgh. The canal, which was in existence from about 1840 to 1878, it ran for 124 miles through 106 locks. Later, when the railroads put it out of business, the railroad ran down the canal. In the previous vlog, we talked about the canal here, which is the Seneca Lake Canal that connects it to Lake Erie. And then Seneca Lake, which goes down for 30 some odd miles to Watkins Glen, New York. By the way, Watkins Glen is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Let me show you some of that right now. As you can imagine from these photos, Watkins Glen is an extremely popular tourist spot, especially in the summer and fall. But starting here at Watkins Glen, there was a flight of locks that took you up to the Chemung Canal. The canal connected Seneca Lake at Watkins Glen to the Chemung River at Elmira, New York. It was planned to connect the Finger Lakes region and the Pennsylvania coal fields along the Susquehanna River watershed. In 1830, the state government of New York allocated funds, and they started work on the Chemung Canal, and it was done in 1833. 54, the Junction Canal that you see here where my cursor is, that was a feeder canal to give water to the Chemung Canal. And then you can see down at the bottom there was an extension that took the canal down into Pennsylvania and connected it with the Susquehanna River Valley, where all of the Pennsylvania coal fields were. While it was in use, the Chemung Canal enabled coal, lumber, and agricultural products to be shipped from Pennsylvania and southern New York up to the Erie Canal and then to New York City. In 1878, the canal was abandoned. The next canal is the Chenango Canal. It was 97 miles long, and for much of its course, it followed the Chenango River. It started in the north at Utica, New York, on the Erie Canal, and it ran south down to Binghamton on the Susquehanna River. It operated from 1834 to 1878 and provided a significant link in the water transportation system of New York State. Like I said, the excavation began in 1834 and it was completed in 1836. Work was done mostly by Irish and Scottish immigrant laborers who were migrating to the U.S. in large numbers during that time. They dug the canal by hand using pick and shovel and chipping through rock and wading through marsh. Their average pay was $11 a month, which was actually 3 times a common laborer's wages at the time. Skilled workers were plentiful because the Erie Canal project had just been completed and they could come south to work on the Chenango. The Chenango Canal itself was an engineering feat for its day. It was 42 feet wide at the top and 26 feet wide at the bottom. Its average depth was 4 feet. It had 116 locks, 11 lock houses, 12 dams, 19 aqueducts, 52 culverts, 56 railroad bridges, 106 farm bridges, 53 feeder bridges, and the list goes on. But it had one major problem. The locks were made out of timber. They would put a log. The logs were the actual walls, and it was just a rough-hewn log. And during the New York winters, with the freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing, they were constantly repairing the locks. Finally, the canal had to go in deep debt just to rebuild all those 106 locks with stone. In 1878, they more or less gave up on the canal and it was abandoned and most of the land sold off. However, in 1840, there was a junction canal that was built that connected it to the previous canal that we talked about, the Chemung Canal. And therefore coal from Pennsylvania could get cheaply to the New York market. The Crooked Lake Canal was started in 1830 and finished in 1833. You can see the little red dots that I just put in. The name refers to the unusual shape of Keokuk Lake, which was formerly called Crooked Lake. Encouraged by local farmers and businessmen who experienced returns from a canal linking the two lakes, the state authorized the canal, and construction, like I said, began in 1830. The Crooked Lake Canal ran under 8 miles, but still, there was enough of a fall that it took 28 locks, the drop being 270 feet. Total cost of the canal was $157,000. It immediately spurred economic growth in the region and soon had to compete with the newly constructed railroads. But the mill owners along the way, they all complained about low water levels in the summer because the canal was siphoning off all the local water. Also, it also had the wooden locks, the same ones that doomed the Chenango and Chemung canals, and they were constantly being repaired. Finally, they had to be replaced for almost the cost of the entire canal's original cost. Well, after years of unprofitability, the waterway was officially abandoned in 1877. Its holdings were taken over by railroads, and the rail line built by filling in the canal and going along its path. Today, the canal is a hiking and biking trail. The map above kind of summarizes the canals we've talked about so far. There are a few more. There's the Black River Canal, and there is also the Delaware and Hudson Canal, but I'm going to save those for a different vlog. I don't want to make this one too long. Well, that's it for now. That wraps up this vlog. In this next vlog, we'll probably be getting more in detail about some of the canals in some of the states neighboring New York State. And eventually, I'm going to be doing a series of vlogs on the Erie Canal and the Cuyahoga-Seneca Canal, which will actually be on board a narrowboat. But I'm going to wrap this one up. If you liked it, please, down below, click the like button, leave comments, subscribe, and if you'd like, hit the notification button so you'll know when the next vlog is. This is Jack Beyer, your American Narrowboater, saying thanks for watching.